Alright, so the middle term of an expansion is 11,200,000 x to the 8, y to the 4, and b, the b term, is equal to negative 5y. Determine the value of the a term. So we'll start with just writing down our basic formula for binomial theorem. You have to bear with me because my hand's a little shaky on this mouse. So nck times a to the n minus k, hopefully you can read that, times b to the k. So, first thing we need to think about, we immediately know that the b term is a first degree term, since y is only to the 1. Therefore, we immediately know that the b term, or the a term, is 1 degree higher than that, since it's a 2-to-1 ratio here. So we know that the a term is to the second degree, is x squared. And since we know this, we know that we can simply just substitute negative 5 in negative 5y for b. Negative 5y to the k. That's not that important right now. Next, we need to look at what degree this whole term is. So since we know that negative 5y is just to the first degree, we know that 4 is going to be what the degree of the whole term is. Since it can't be any less, can't be any more, because negative 5y, more importantly the y, to the 4 is equal to y to the 4. However, that's not the entire degree of the term. Since it is the middle term of the expansion, we know that the degree of a times, or plus the degree of b is equal to the middle term, or is equal to the degree of the entire binomial. So, since it's the middle term, it's going to be the degree of b times 2, which means that we know that n is equal to 8. I lost my mouse. There it is. So we can also substitute that into this equation. So then, since we know the value of the degree of the b term is equal to 4, we also know that k, let me just cross this out here, we know that k is actually equal to 4. So then that's our entire b term laid out. And since we know what k is over here, we can move it over to here as well, which then also gives us the exponential value for the a term. We know that a is to the 8 minus 4. So then, we can solve for actual terms for both this and our b term. Now, I've already done it beforehand, but if you want to pause the video for a second and just do that quickly on your calculator, it might help out. However, 8 choose 4 is equal to 70 times 8 to 4. Now remember, this a isn't a variable, this is talking about the a term, which is what we're looking for. And then negative 5y, should be brackets around it, to the 4 is equal to 625y to the 4. Now make sure to note that there's no negative value, since it is an even numbered degree. So then if we combine these terms together, we get 43,750 y to the 4 times a to the 4. At this point, we can substitute in our actual complete value down here, since that's what this equation essentially solves for. So this is equal to 11,200,000 x to the 8, y to the 4. So then we can use basic algebra. So we know that a to the 4 is equal to this divided by this, which is equal to 256 x to the 8. The y to the 4 is gone because of this term. And then we can just take the fourth root of this. You can punch it on your calculator as to the 1 over 4 for this term. And this gives us the a value of 4x squared. Now if you wanted, just for educational purposes, we could punch this all back into our calculator, and of course it would give us the right answer. That would be laid out something along the lines of that. And this gives us that value. I won't bother writing it all out again. Hope this helped with this question.